Right after you're injured, you went on Facebook. Yeah. You know what this is?
Oh, yeah. You gonna read the whole thing?
No, I'm gonna read some of it. This is such BS. All the training and sacrifice just flew out the window with one step that I've done millions of times. The frustration is unbearable. The anger is rage. Why the hell did this happen? Makes no damn sense. Now I'm supposed to come back from this and be the same player or better at 35? How in the world am I supposed to do that? I have no clue. Do I have the consistent will to overcome this thing? Maybe I should break out the rocking chair and reminisce on the career that was. Maybe this is how my book ends. Maybe Father Time has defeated me. Then again, maybe not. It's 3:30 a.m., my foot feels like dead weight, my head is spinning from the pain meds, and I'm wide awake. Forgive my venting, but what's the purpose of social media if I won't bring it to you real, no image? Feels good to vent, to let it out, to feel as if this is the worst thing ever. Because after all the venting, the real perspective sets in. There are far greater issues and challenges in the world than a torn Achilles. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Find the silver lining and get to work with the same belief, same drive, and same conviction as ever. One day, the beginning of a new career journey will commence. Today is not that day. If you see me in a fight with a bear, pray for the bear. I've always loved that quote. That's Mamba mentality. We don't quit, we don't cower, we don't run, we endure and conquer.
Man, what's good with y'all? Want to welcome y'all back to another episode of You've Been Inspired. I told y'all, man, I'm going to be definitely do more podcast type of content. And this is something new right here. You feel me? Y'all are pretty much familiar with me, but I would like to introduce you, to my co-host. This is my oldest daughter. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Harley. 15 years old?
15.
Yeah,
She
15.
nervous, as y'all can see. This is her first time hearing herself. This is her first time all that. So.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous. But yeah, I'm 15 years old. I'm the oldest. And I'm ready to get after it. That's all I gotta say.
To all y'all, anybody that watched this and y'all don't know, because I know she look older than her age.
But hold on.
Oh, that's the wrong one.
I don't play that. I'm letting you know right now. If y'all think anything is sweet over here, it's not.
But just had to, get that out the way and whatnot. You feel me? This is my oldest baby. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Out of 6. So
6.
I got, besides her, there's 4 more girls. And then our baby boy, my son, you feel me? So yeah, but as you can see, did we forget anything? Like, subscribe, turn on post notifications. But yeah, as you can see by the title and the thumbnail, we want to talk about, we don't want to be too serious, but this is something that motivated us, and something that we both went through. And this was just a topic that meant a lot. So I will probably be putting a little video that inspired this, an Instagram video that I ran across with the great Mamba, the great late Kobe Bryant, and we all know what Mamba mentality is. We all know what that means. And if you don't know, that just means being relentless, going after greatness at all costs, when it comes down to you having to give your all, put it all on the line, So there's a clip that really spoke to me, and then it just made me think about this season. If y'all don't know, this is a year that we moved and relocated to a new area, a new environment, a new state. And, it has its ups and downs, and it was challenging. You feel what I'm saying?
Most definitely.
So what we'll be talking about is overcoming, We both had our different circumstances when it comes to overcoming and whatnot, but we gonna get into it. But go ahead, let them know a little bit about you and how this topic, really affected you and hit you, and just what your journey is, what you do, and what's all that good stuff.
Okay, so basically my story or how this affects me is how so I did track and field while I was doing off-season basketball, because in basketball you want to get fit, you want to stay in that body where you were last time. So during track season, it was like my first couple of days in track. It was my first track meet, and I had a whole bunch of like different events to do.
But
so
did you tell them what you?
Oh yeah, I'm a basketball player. So
Okay.
I play basketball. I'm the center or the power forward. Sometimes the guard. So I go around from the guard to the post, basically. So yeah, I'm the big man or the guard on the court. But yeah, I'm a basketball player. But yeah, going back to the story, I did track. So I did track for the off season just to stay fit. That's not really my main, sport or what I like to do. I just did it just to, stay fit. So after that, it was my first track meet. It was a couple days after practice, like they were like, Harley, we really like how you do certain stuff. Like I like how you do shot put disc. We were gonna do the 200, running the 200 sprint, and then we were doing long jump. And I was like, cool. I did long jump in 6th grade for that track season. So I was like, man, I should do it. Like, I'm gonna do it. So I did it a couple times. They're like, no, you're good. And so I'm like, okay, I could do this. So it was our first track meet, and I had just did the 200 because they wanted me to do that first because everybody was doing it. All the girls were lining up. So I did that first, and then they're like, Harley, got to call you over for shot put, but I couldn't do that because long jump was about to go, like it was about to be done. So I went to go do the long jump, and I did a couple like practice rounds. I did like 2 or 3 practice rounds, and then they're like, okay, this is the real deal. Like, go ahead, you can jump, and this is gonna like be on the record or whatever. So I'm a little bit nervous because I'm like, cool, this is my first track meet. So I jump, right? I'm running, getting the speed, and then I jump, and immediately as I'm taking off, my knee is like, I can feel like it kind of, not in a way like pop, but I can feel the, I don't know if you could say a pop. We could say a pop, but I felt it, and immediately that pain just shot all the way up to my hip, all the way down to my ankle. Like I could feel it, all that pain, and then it went directly to my knee. So I'm just sitting there, like I jump, and then I feel all that pain because I guess, because I stopped so hard, or as I was trying to take off, I stopped so hard to take off that like the impact, like it fractured my knee. So basically I jump and I'm rolling around in the dirt and I'm crying because it's hurting so bad. Like I have never felt that kind of pain ever in my life. Like that type of pain was different. So I'm just sitting there, I'm crying, and I'm just holding my knee and I'm rolling around. I got sand in my eyes, sand in everywhere. And all I could hear is everybody like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Everybody's like circling around me. And I'm just like, bro, I was so scared because like first my parents are not there. Nobody there that I know. All we have is coaches. We got different people around me. I don't know who these people are. So I'm over here scared. And I'm in serious pain. So I'm like, I have no parent around. So I'm just sitting there crying. And then immediately, I don't know if it was adrenaline in my, system, but my toes, like my toes, like the sensation in my toes started to stop. So I was like, over here, I'm like, I can't feel my toes because I was just so like caught up. I couldn't feel my toes. So I'm just sitting there just crying and nobody's knowing what to do. And then my dad, he comes and he's like, oh my goodness, what's going on? Like, wooty woo. And then he's like, she can't feel her toes or whatever. So he's taking off my shoe. There's the track trainer, like she's coming over and she's taking the dirt or like the sand in the pit. She's taking it off of me, like she's dusting it off. And I'm just crying. Like that type of pain was so bad. Like I can't even wish that on nobody. Like that pain is different. And then they're like, we need to get you out of the pit, in the sand pit. So then my dad, he picks me up and they take me out the sand pit. And then the trainer, he goes to the wrong stop because I guess somebody said not long jump but high jump. So he goes to high jump, and after that he comes to long jump, and then he's asking me a whole bunch of questions and stuff like that. But I think in the moment I was so hurt and caught up, I couldn't even like answer them.
So she did go in detail, in depth. But I want to add some context and add a backstory to that. She's 15. At the time, I think she was 14. Like in that season, it's like, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, you're right.
So freshman in high school, mind you, she just started playing basketball for the first time in the 8th grade, and they had an undefeated season. You feel what I'm saying? So she's coming off an undefeated season we moved to a whole new state, to a whole new school, to a whole new program, and she's on this team, right? She's already gone throughout her basketball season at her school, and it was a good season, being a freshman. She ended up ending her season pretty much on varsity. She played JV, and she was pretty much on the team, and everything's on the up and up. You feel me? Everything's cool. The coaches are like excited for her next year. She's getting nothing but good reports and all that. And she's at this point, we've been going back and forth because we're all new to this, mind you. Like, we don't know nothing about the basketball realm or none of that type of stuff. So, right. So we're figuring it all out. And we're trying to find the proper AAU team to go with, to not just get her the exposure, but get her the work that she needs to develop her skills. And we ended up finding one. We dedicated to one. We said, this is the one we're rocking with, after we ended up going to a crazy one that we had to slide up out of there. We don't want to talk too much about that. There. You feel me? Because it was crazy.
It was an experience.
Right. But as you live, you learn, the process. So it was actually the day that she made the AAU team, well, the week she made the AAU team, and the day of the practice, the first practice of the AAU team, she has this track meet. Now, mind you, I'm coming to support, right? So I'm on my way there, and I'm not even gonna lie, it's crazy. I won't ever forget it, because I'm like, God, I know she's doing track, I know she's doing long jump. As I'm walking through the parking lot, I'm like, God, please don't let her get hurt. She we got to do this AAU thing, and this is just a filler sport to keep her active. And I'm like, just whatever your will is, though, God, however you want it to go. But I'm just praying, please, if anything, don't let her get hurt. And as I'm walking up through, it's a grip of people. There's parents, students, coaches, like 3-4 different schools. And it's like, bro, mind you, what was y'all's team color? Y'all color was like
blue.
During
like
the
dark blue.
season, though.
Oh, it's like red, blue, and white.
But this time it was at the track meet, it was a different
school.
color.
Yeah, it was like a whole nother like district. So
right.
It was different. They can have the same color as you, but be different.
Right.
Schools.
So their regular season is like blue.
Oh yeah, blue, white.
Right.
Yeah.
But
black.
what was the track meet colors? What did y'all wear at the track meet?
We wore like a dark blue shirt. It was like a dark blue shirt.
No,
it said Ridge. Yeah, it was dark blue and it said Ridge.
All right, then y'all usually wear red or something.
Yeah, the Woodlands were red and green.
It was something. Either way, the colors was different, right? So as I'm looking, trying to locate her, I'm looking for their school colors that they've been wearing all season.
Like basketball season?
Yeah, because that's all I know. I don't know whether y'all had the blue jerseys with the red and white, and then flip the white, So as I'm looking, I'm like, where the heck is she? I can't find her. And then I'm seeing different schools. So it's a trip, because as I'm walking up the thing, right, out of my peripheral, I can see the long jump track, but I'm not paying attention. I'm not thinking that she's doing long jump or anything like that. I'm trying to locate her to let her know I'm here. I'm supporting. Everything's all good, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, what color do they have on? I can't think about it. So then on my peripheral, I see a young female jump, right, and land in the dirt. Boom. And as she rolls away. Like, as she lands, her back is towards me. So I can't see who it is. I'm like, okay, I hope she's all right. And for some reason, as a parent, I don't know why we always think like our kids are like smaller. I don't know. I just didn't think my daughter was that big, because she looked like a full grown woman, So I'm like, that's not my daughter right there. I'm not paying attention to it. So I'm still scouting and looking, and something dawned on me. It was like, nah, these school. I looked at the school. I was like, that's not this school. And I turn over, and when you're a parent, if you have a child, and if you've ever heard your child cry, you will that cry will always alert you, no matter how far you are, no matter what's going on. And I can hear the cry, and it hit my soul. I'm like, oh no, I know that cry. So then I look, right? And then as I'm trying to get a better angle to see who it is, I seen how she usually has her hairstyle. She probably got it right now with the little swoops on the side. I said, oh no, that's my child right there. So I go over there and stuff, and start just being a parent and supporting her and making sure she's getting the help she needs. And it was like, it was crazy. It was surreal due to the fact that I'm actually thinking about when I was asking God, right? Like, Lord, please don't let her get hurt. And that's the first thing that came to mind, and what it did to me. Usually most people would be like, either people that don't believe or have faith, or just people that's like, they'll be like, oh God, like, why? Like, or you supposed to, like, why didn't you? Right. But me being who I am and knowing how this thing is, when it comes to being a believer, it's like, the first thing I can think of is this was supposed to happen. This was destined to happen. Like, obviously God put that prayer on my heart, and he allowed this to happen for the specific reason of this topic, to be able to overcome. And when you think about like the sovereignty, right? If y'all don't know what it is, it's just like how just the whole design and timing and everything that God has under his control. It's crazy because you got to think about it, and all the lights that I stopped at, you feel what I'm saying? All the time it took her to get there, all the little things that we did that whole day for me to get out, find a parking spot, walk across the parking lot, and for us to kind of inceptually meet up at the same time as this occurred is crazy. And I just seen it out my peripheral, and just how it played out, it was a trip.
It was like perfectly lined up, because like you could have been on the whole other side of the school. That could happen. People could have like took me out the dirt. That could all happen, and then you found me. Like, no,
Right.
You found me right at the perfect moment where I was like, bam, it
Right.
just happened, and you just walked in, and I was
wish
just
I
like,
would have got there sooner.
I was like,
I could have distracted you.
dude. Like, I was tripped out, because I'm like, dang, like you're there. Like, he magically popped up, and I was like, that's crazy. But yeah, it was like like it was perfectly lined up. Like, there's just no way that was just a coincidence. Oh, dad just showed up. Like, no, that was perfectly timed. Like, I had a snack, or I had water. I did the 200, sprint. Like, that all magically like not magically, but like that purposely was there. Like, that time like purposely happened. So it's like, just seeing that now, looking back, it's like, it's crazy. Like,
yeah, and that was just the pinnacle, right, of what was to come. And it's just like the same thing for me, my personal endeavor that really caused me to have to fight, was, us moving out here, me being who I am. We just moved. It's 8 of us. You feel me? Yeah. We hopped on the plane, and was out of there. We hopped on Spirit, so it was by faith. Like,
no, for real. We just had luggages and the clothes on our backs, for real.
It was their first time flying, and I'm talking about ranging from teenage to 5 years old. So it was crazy. They did a good job, Spirit, the wings be flapping literally like a bird. But just moving our whole family out to a whole different state, right? It was by faith, but I had a plan. You feel what I'm saying? I had a plan to come out and really benefit from where we were moving to, and to really lock in and start to get where I needed to be in life, and just get my business off of the ground, and just do a lot of stuff. And it's crazy because I made sure I had a plan. Like, and I'm saying that because I'm gonna come back to it, and it's so crazy how no matter how much we plan, right? Not saying not to plan, but no matter how much we plan, God still has another plan. You feel what I'm saying? And it took me a minute to see that, but I had a plan, man. And we came out here, we did what we had to do. We stayed hotels and motels and and stayed with some friends and family. And we just came out here on faith. We didn't have no connections really. We didn't know what. All we knew was the church we was gonna go to,
No
and
streets,
that's it.
street names, no nothing.
No jobs, nothing. It's crazy, you know. And I began to get into this place that I've really never been into. You feel me? And it was the first time. I don't want to say the first time I've been depressed or felt depression, but the first time I couldn't shake it, right? I'm talking about like going to sleep, waking up, and it's the same old cloud over your head. And I couldn't do nothing about it. No matter what I was doing in and out, I was just like, oh my God. One, because my plan was not working at all. My plan was not coming together no matter what I did, no matter how I did it, no matter what was going on. And it was frustrating me. It just made me feel like I was failing, just as a father, you feel me? Just as a man. It was just hard in that season. And it was just a lot of doubt, a lot of questioning, a lot of reconsidering. And it was just so much going on in my mind. Like, and the reason being is because we didn't move because we were doing bad where we were. Like, we didn't move because we didn't have it together. Like, I had a job, my wife had a job, all the kids were in school, everything. We just bought a house. You feel what I'm saying? Everything was cool. Like, basically all of us had everything we wanted.
Yeah,
we
dogs,
needed
everything.
everything. Like grass in the front yard, backyard. Like,
yeah, actually, we just had grass in the backyard.
everything.
So we was chilling.
Like, we just bought a house. Like, everything was going good. So to relocate and uproot, to move somewhere, to take a shot and a chance at doing better, and then to go throughout this season of a drought of me not working, you feel me? Being at home all the time, because it's not like I know the place where I'm at. And then my plans are not working when it comes to my business, when it comes to doing anything. It was just horrible, right? It's like, bruh. So I was in this spiral depression and I couldn't shake it, you know? So one, I do want to say, like, to those that battle depression, to those that go through it, you feel me? I know it feels like you're alone, you know, and a lot of times you just gotta force yourself to be around somebody. You feel me? If you have a friend that, even if you can't open up and express what it is, you just need to be around somebody. You feel me? And then if you're that person that's not depressed, but you know you have a friend that battles depression, or you know, like, don't be the weirdo in a sense. Be like, just do what you got to do, whether it's reaching out, whether it's just being company. You feel me? Don't be all weird, because this is a real situation. It's like life and death. You feel me?
Because I like how our youth pastor at church said it. Like, if a person is alone or isolated, there are two things that can happen: they die or they go mentally insane.
Right.
So it's either they go mentally insane and then they die. But that's the thing. Like, being around people, like, human beings were not designed to be alone.
Yeah, that's the Bible.
All the time.
The Bible
they
says
were
it.
designed to be with each other. You know, influence each other. You know. Like he said, swords, like iron sharpens iron. So if you're around someone, you can, you know, build on each other.
Right. And it's imperative, you know. So just so you know that we're always praying for people that are going through depression, you feel me? And keep your head up, man. If you're watching this and you feel like it's just nobody out there, you feel me? You got two people right here that's rocking with you. You feel me? That's not people that just don't know. You feel me? Because we've been down. You feel what I'm saying? And it's a fight. It's a fight and it's a climb, but it's light on the other side. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, just being in that season was horrible. Like, I felt less than a man in my wife's eyes. I couldn't be who I wanted to be and do what I wanted to do. And I was looking at God like, bruh, like, did you leave me out here? Like, one, did we make a mistake? Did I not hear right? Like, God, I believe by faith, you told me to go, right? And me making that choice, I'm like, okay, I'm willing to go because I counted the cost, and it was like, did you leave me? Like, I didn't have no passion, I didn't have no desire, and it was just a horrible, horrible situation, But one thing that kept me locked in, right, is because being a parent, and my daughter, she was highly active in sports, so it was like I had to keep her locked in, especially during this time of recovery.
Yeah, it's pretty hard.
And this process of me recovering from that state of mind, I used to look at it like when the season hit, right? One, I had to understand that it was a season, right? And all seasons pass. And then two, I had to start looking at the purpose of it. Why is this like this? What can I be doing that will benefit in this season? Because when this season changes, I want to come out of this season better than I went in, So I don't want to sit around moping, but I want to be paying attention to what the reason is this is like this. Because obviously God wanted this season like this, because it's not like I was like, well, I just want to be without a job, at home, feeling this type of way. No, it was just certain circumstances, and I had to accept it. So it just really made me come to the conclusion of, one, you can't do this without God. You feel me? You got to stay locked in, and that's the only way you're gonna get out of this. But just tell them a little bit about your recovery process. Like, what was, matter of fact, when you were on the floor in pain, right, in agony, what was going through your mind at that moment when it's your knee and you don't know what it is?
I thought it was over. Like, honestly, the first thing that popped into my head was basketball. I'm like, bruh, I'm a freshman, and like I started off the season like straight out 8th grade year, like no AAU, no professional training, no shooting trainer, no dribbling trainer. Like, I'm fresh off nothing. Literally, right. I'm just like raw, basically. I have no training, no nothing. Like, while we have other kids coming from, different AAU teams, stuff like that. Like, I'm a freshman, literally on JV, and then, played with varsity for playoffs. I'm like, cool. Like, now this is my season to get better, because I'm, a freshman. We found an AAU team. Like, everything was like lining up great. Like, it was perfect. Right. But in that moment, I was just like, dude, like, why? Like, in a way, I was like, why me? Because I'm like, I'm trying to get better, and this was my season of getting better, and I'm 50 steps back. Like, I felt like it was over. I'm like, I won't be able to come back from this. Everything. It was like he said, a cloud. Like, it was kind of just like, dude, why did this happen right now at this point in my life? Right. Why now? Because I'm just starting to get better. Like, from where I was before and where I am now, I was just starting to get better in my skills and stuff like that. So just being set back, I was just like, dude, it's over. Like, honestly, I don't even know what to do. I don't know, like, what's the next step? Like, I was so lost at that like point in that time.
Yeah. And I could just imagine, right? Because me, though I played sports, I played hood sports. We played hood basketball. You feel what I'm saying? My little sports journey was when I was 8, I played Little League baseball, which was lit, right? I played every position on the field. And this was after I broke my arm too. And I had one opportunity to shout out Mr. Lewis. As many times as I remember to, I'm gonna always shout out Mr. Lewis, my 8th grade teacher, because this dude, he's a pillar in my life that forced me and pushed me and believed in me when a lot of people didn't. You feel what I'm saying? And I say that because it was Mr. Lewis and I think his name was Najera, which was our Spanish teacher. They were the coaches for for summer league. So my little journey, like they was like, get on the team because I was 6 feet and whatever, get on the team. So I tried out for summer league, played one game, and I never looked back again. You feel me? I couldn't get a ride. You feel me? At the same, we only had like one car. My pops used to go to work. It was a wrap. So it was over. And then after that, I was just hood basketball, hood Olympics. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't know what it's like to be, to have a goal in the sense of sports, right? And then for something like this to take place and make you feel like it's over, you know? So I could only imagine, especially coming off a high, right? A high season, high year, I'd say 2 years back to back, you know, and then something like this happen is like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, so that's journey, right? When you went to the hospital.
Oh yeah, like when we were going to the car, I feel like my coach, like my freshman coach, she was like, "What happened? What happened?" And like my dad had already talked to her and stuff like that, so she was just like, I'm praying for you, because I had a close relationship with my freshman basketball coach. So she was there. She's like, everything's gonna get better.
It's,
I think
Coach Green, right?
Yeah, Coach
Shout
Green.
out Coach Green.
Shout out Coach Green. Yeah. We had a real like deep relationship when it comes to like coach and the the teammate or the coach and the player. So yeah, she was there. She was helping me get in the car because like I couldn't walk, like it was crazy. Helping me get in the car, and she was there. It was cool. And then when we were driving, like my dad kind of got my mind off of the pain, because it was bad. Like it was like that pain was crazy. But we were talking about it in the car, like how the situation lined up, and I feel like my dad is a real person that gets your mind off of like the pain and stuff, because I couldn't really feel it like I was when we were talking and we were heading into the the hospital. It was kind of just like cool. Me and my dad were chopping it up. It was like my mind wasn't really on it. But yeah, that pain was but yeah, my mind wasn't really on that pain when we got in the car.
So now, right, you had your first doctor's appointment like after that.
Yeah, right after.
And I kind of want to know what that process was, going back to the doctors, right, and hearing the possibilities, like, yeah, this, and then good news, and then it seemed like just restriction. So like, first off, how did it feel, right, not being able to play ball?
So basically after that, like after the hospital, we like got the little brace thing, and then I was on crutches. So like I came in and everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, I know what happened at the track thing." And I was just like, dude, like not being able to play basketball is just crazy. Like it kind of just like having like a weighted blanket on your shoulders. Like I can't do nothing really. I couldn't even hold, like my backpack was too heavy. It was just like, it was a lot of like things, especially like seeing a lot of people being able to play and getting better, being in the gym, shooting, playing 1v1 or like, scrimmaging and just sitting on the sidelines. It was just like, dude, why? Like it was kind of like, I wish that could have been me, because if that was me, I would be busting my butt. But since I'm not there, or I'm not like there, like I kind of just got to take it in mentally. And I was like, watching, certain girls on their footwork while I wasn't on the court, or, the shooting form. But it was like, it was kind of in a way downing, because I'm just sitting on the sidelines. I'm just watching, like,
right.
I told my mom this, but she was like, "Oh, why don't you want to be like, or like in high school, a cheerleader or something like that?" It's because I don't like being on the sidelines. I like being in, the play. I like playing every game. I like shooting every shot. Like I like being in the action. I don't like being on the sidelines. So just being on the sidelines, just watching everyone getting better and building on their game, it was like, dude, when I get back, I'm finna be 50 steps back. I'm finna be like the worst player. I don't know how I'm finna jump back from, this injury. Like there's just no way. In my mind, I was like, no way.
Yeah, get in the game. And that kind of just make me think about my season. You feel me? In the sense of watching everybody thrive around you. You feel what I'm saying? And that's one thing that like being depressed does, is when you're depressed, it's like everybody else has highlight reels and has highlight tapes, and you're just bland, black and white, like no sound. Like, and it's crazy because even though I knew I was blessed, right? I knew everything was cool. I knew God was providing, right? I was still like, everybody else is thriving. Like, they getting new jobs. They riding around in this. They're able to do this. And I'm sitting back like, this is what I moved out here for. This is what I changed my whole life for. And it just made me feel like I was on the sideline. You feel me? It made me really feel like I was sitting on the bench watching somebody else score 25, 10, and 9. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm sitting there like, what? After I was just out there getting buckets, you know? So it's really challenging in those seasons when it's like that process of overcoming, that process of having to, one, encourage yourself and block out all the nonsense that tell you like it's a wrap, this is it, it's done. It's a battle, you know.
And I feel like at some point, when you see other people like get injured, you're just like, okay, yeah, like I understand that, but when it really happens to you,
right,
it's a different story. Like there was girls that had like there was one girl on the team, like JV team, she tore her ACL like beginning of the season. I'm just like, dang, like that must be hard because you got to go to surgery and all that stuff. So like it was crazy just seeing her experience. And then I'm like, okay, dang, like that's real bad. And then it happening to me, like not tearing my ACL, but getting injured and being on the sidelines for like the rest of the season. Right. It was just kind of like, dude, what? It's happening to me too. So it's different when you see somebody overcome, or you may see other videos or YouTube videos of people overcoming injuries. But when it happens to you, you feel like, dude, there's just no way I'm getting out of this. Like, there's no way from coming back. Back.
It's challenging. You feel me?
Most definitely.
And especially like for you, you're waiting to hear good news. You feel me? From doctors, as we're going to get x-rays. Exactly. We're going to get
and they didn't know that whole time, like the x-rays and stuff like that. They didn't know what I like the trainer at the track meet, he was like, I think you tore your ACL. Everybody like ACL, like I'm telling you, right after we came back from the hospital, I was like,
the worst scenario.
Yeah, I was on bed rest. Like I was on the couch and I literally couldn't do nothing. I couldn't even go get myself something to eat or any of that. Cause like every time I walked, I had to get crutches. I had to do all that stuff. So like just sitting on the couch, letting my thoughts like replay, like it was crazy. Like I just like going over that experience, it was like literally sitting there and listening to all the bad things in your head just keep saying like, oh, you tore your ACL, how are you gonna come back, or you need surgery, like all those things were just sitting there. And I feel like in that process or that time I was on the couch, it was kind of I was a little depressed in that like that state, because it was just like my thoughts were just overdoing it. Like I'm telling you, like I thought I tore my ACL. I thought I wasn't gonna come back from this. I'm like, dude, I'm not even a senior yet. I can't, like, what? So just listening to my thoughts and just sitting there alone, like just like by myself, like as I'm up at night, just thinking about it, it was just like different. It hit different. It's crazy. Like your thoughts can get very loud. Like I'm telling you, like just sitting there and just like resting in your thoughts is not something you just want to do on a daily.
Right.
But yeah, it was pretty hard just sitting there and then like having your mom or having your sibling go get you something to eat when it's like, I should be able to do those simple things. It was kind of hard just, sitting there, like not doing nothing, just hurting on pain medication, because every time you get up or turn the wrong way in your sleep, your knee hurts, and having to ice it. It was just a lot, like all your thoughts at once. Like it's a lot.
Yeah, what you said made me think of something. Like a lot of times we say block the noise out or block people out, haters and negative things, but sometimes we got to block our own thoughts out. Yeah. You feel me? Sometimes our thoughts is what dig a bigger hole than what is already there. And sometimes that's bringing the right people around. You feel me? That will be able to be louder than your thoughts, to give you good words. You feel what I'm saying? Giving you insight to help you push past until you see the light at the end of the tunnel, and now you can move towards it. So now on this path, right, with you, on recovery, where are you at right now in this process to getting back, to where you once were?
I feel like right now the physical therapist said honestly I have a month or a couple weeks until I'm fully like healed. Like I can run, I can jump, I can do all this. But right now I'm about, you could say 80% there. Like I'm on a walking and running program. I'm on a jumping program that my physical therapist put me on. So
But
right now,
I want to say, right,
mhm.
this was a process,
Oh yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So now you're on the end of this,
Yeah.
but in that process of getting to where you are now, what was your first, if you could remember, like where were you at mentally for physical therapy for the first time?
For the first time, I feel like when I first went in for the appointment, I was like, okay, cool. We're gonna be doing simple things, like, stretching it out or getting the quad muscle back. But I feel like I was still in a state of like, I'm still not there. Like, I'm still not going to be able to get there. I'm still not going to be 100% yet. Like, I'm not going to be able to do a simple layup. I'm not going to be able to, like, be on the court. Like, it was just mentally, I feel like I was there kind of, but me looking back on the physical aspect of being on the court, I was just like, my mental was just like, dude, you're not even there yet. So how is this physical therapy going to be able to bring you there? So I feel like mentally it was kind of hard, and especially being from a previous appointment of the doctor saying like, we're gonna do some more x-rays to see how you are, and just coming out of just to let you know, I was in a brace for like 6 weeks, like straight. I had the brace on with my leg straight. So just coming off of that and having it finally, like a couple appointments back, I was like being able to bend it and doing little exercises. It was kind of hard. Like I felt really weak while walking on my leg because it was like no quad muscle, no, calf muscle. Like it was literally, it looked super weird. But yeah, it was kind of hard, especially like the therapist is like, bending your knees not all the way there. And I'm just like, here's another thing that I have to, put in the box. Like I'm not there bending my knee yet. I'm not there walking, or my walking's weird. Like it was just like checking the boxes on a negative thought or negative, like on a negative aspect. It was kind of just bringing a toll on mentally, like, especially with now the physical therapy, jumping into physical therapy. I was just like, dude, how am I going to be able to like do this? Like simply squatting or simply bending down to get something off the floor. It was just hard to have a positive, mindset on that.
Right. And just that whole process, because now that I'm just listening to you, just the whole process of not only battling mentally, but having to get back to a physical status of where you once were. It's like, in order for your body to get back where it was, your mind had to be double strength, like double as strong to push you to get there. Cause it's like you walking around with one leg looking like, you feel me? You got one looking like Popeye the Sailor Man and the other one looking like Mr. Krabs. Like
exactly.
It's crazy. But that whole process of rebuilding and getting back to where you were is just, it's amazing. You feel me? And it's encouraging too, because though you're doing that, right? I'm watching on the outside, right? So I'm watching the whole process, the growth, the challenges, the pain, and it's only encouraging me, you feel me, to like push forward. Like, yeah, you were once here, right? Yeah, when you were living in California, right? You had everything. Everything was cool. Everything was going good. And now you move here, like what the same energy. You feel me? Like it's almost as if like, did those things make you? You feel me? Are you only who you are when everything's going well? Right? Are you who you are when you got everything you in your little comfort zone and everything's functioning well? You got your money coming in, your kids acting semi straight, your wife acting cool, the gas in the tank, you chill. Like is that who you are? Or does who you really are show when your plan's not rocking? You feel me? When you tried and did everything you could do, and then you mess around and get injured, and now you on the sidelines and you gotta watch everybody else play but you. It's like that's when the real you comes out. You feel what I'm saying? So being able to watch this process of you going through your journey of recovering, and seeing how you dealt with it. Cause I seen when you were trying to be optimistic, and then in the midst of that, when your thoughts got to you, and it's like, maybe I'm not okay.
Yeah, like there was certain times where we came from like AAU practice, and I just like got so upset because I'm like, dude, I'm in a brace,
Right.
and these girls are just like thriving. Like I'm telling you, just watching other people have a highlight reel or just thriving, it just like, dude, when is my um highlight reel gonna be out there, or when am I gonna get better? Just like
Right.
there was some times where I just was so upset, I would just like have a little, not like tantrum, but I would just be like upset. I would like I'll come in the car and I'd be like, dude, I'm just not gonna be great. Like I'm just not gonna be able to do this. Like there's just no way. Like I can't even do a layup. I can't even dribble the same. I can't do nothing. So it's like there was certain times where I was just like in the car with my dad and I'm just like, dude, I can't. Like there's just no way. Like I can't do simple things. And in basketball, those simple things are important. So if you can't do that, like what am I what am I good for?
Right.
So just like there was certain times where my dad has seen those sides. And I feel like as a kid, you just like wanna like deal with it on your own, but like my dad said, you gotta have people around you to overcome those thoughts or be louder than those thoughts. Because if it wasn't for my parents being around, having that positive attitude, I feel like I wouldn't be able to do it alone by myself. There was just no way. Like it was just a lot going on. So just having solid people around you that love you and just genuinely have that, a positive mindset for you, just it's great, especially with an injury or going through depression or stuff like that.
Right.
Just being able to have a strong person there, not letting you slide or be down, being that rock, you never letting you go off and letting your mind go off, because that's the tricky part, especially with injury and stuff like that.
Yeah, parents, be there for your kids, man. You feel me? Pop in on them, check in on them, like be like, it's our job. I tell my kids, like, it's my job to make sure that you have the tools and resources to do what you need to do. Or for an analogy I use for her, because she plays basketball, it's our job to make sure that the rim, the basket, the bucket is as big as possible. So when you shoot it, you have a bigger, higher chance of making it. You feel what I'm saying? So that's that whole process and whatnot. So yeah, seeing that you on the get back, you done went through the high, then you got injured and was down and out, and now you're on your way back to getting to where you once were. You got pretty much the green light every time you go to your physical therapy. It's on the up and up, thank God. And you just got cleared to run. So like, where's your mind at now, and how grateful are you and how motivated are you now, knowing that you're like this close to being back where you were?
I would like envision it like a butterfly coming out of a cocoon. Like it's like finally, like I just like saying that, like finally I'm able to do this.
Right.
Like that, the motivation that I have now, like my mindset is like next year, y'all better watch out, because I am not playing. I'm showing up to every practice. I'm showing up to every after school thing. Like I'm going to bust my butt next year because I'm not falling back again. Like regardless, like that's the motivation I have like right now. Like I was just thinking about it, and like in my mind, I'm like, bruh, I'm going to go full beast mode next year. Like even just now, like I'm just on like the verge of where it's like right when she said you can run, I'm like, dude, I'm doing that. Like
Right.
off the bat, like I'm everything that I can. Like even when I go into physical therapy, I'm like, let's add more weight, let's put on some more pounds, because I'm trying to get better. And like she was just like, girl, you're solid. Like I see you every time you come in here, you're doing great. So I feel like that motivation from my physical therapist and from my parents, it just like mentally, I'm on a high. Like when it comes to like your downs and your lows, I feel like I'm finally breaking through that winter season or that like that low season to the point where you can't do nothing. But like I'm finally breaking through that. Like so it's like now all I'm trying to do is get better, get better. So when I am fully 100% there, you know, being able to be on the court, scrimmaging, you know, 1v1, all that other extra stuff, I'm just gonna work my butt off the whole time. Like I was just thinking about it, and I could say that because like as a freshman, you know, you're kind of scared and all that. But I'm gonna be a sophomore. I'm not gonna be the fresh booty on the campus no more. Like
Right.
no. So just coming in there now. With a different mindset in physical therapy or a different mindset when I go to AAU practice, it's just different. Like that motivation, that hunger to get better, it's just there. It's honestly there, and it's like ready to be set off, kind of.
Yeah, nah, that's everything, you know, your mind state, because it's only the momentum is only gonna carry over. You know what I'm saying? And it just make me think about where I'm at, you know. Shout out Jim Rohn, you feel me? The great to me, and he's a philosopher. You remember we was listening to him in the car, and he says life is like seasons. You feel me? You have your winters when it's all bad, like don't nothing grow. You can't get nothing. It's cold, alone, you know. And then you have your springs. You know what I'm saying? You have your springs when you're able to get ahead, when you're able to, everything is blooming. And it's like we're supposed to take advantage of those moments because we don't know how many of those moments we get, you know. And then, of course, you have your summers and stuff where you're shining and everything get to show. And then your falls is just preparing, you know, you getting back into that winter. But now that the winter is passing, you feel what I'm saying? And for me, I'm kind of I re-entered into the same season, but because I went through the first season like this, my perspective is different. I don't have the same outlook, and I have the tools, I have the mindset, I have the purpose of this season and scenario, you know, because honestly, I'm still not working, you know, and that's the season that I'm supposed to be in right now, because this is a season that, if you think about it, besides like when I had the job working at Pepsi for like a month, a couple weeks or whatever, I've been at home with y'all for a whole year.
Yeah.
You feel me? And with your brother, especially with him being surrounded by all girls, I've been able to be here. He's been able to see me. Everybody, I've been here, and it's usually different, you know. In households, it's usually the mom that stays home and the father goes and works, you know. But and I'm just being transparent. You feel what I'm saying? Like it ain't no shame in my game. It ain't. I've already went through the shame. I've already went through the winter. Now it's just being transparent because somebody needs to hear it, you know. But just the benefit of a father being able to be home with his family, a father being able to be home with his kids and to raise his kids, to discipline his kids, to love his kids so they could just become who they're supposed to be is priceless, you know. And I don't never know if I'll ever get this opportunity, how it is again, like the first time we moved to a different state. So everything's all new to us. The first time I've been at home, it's just a lot of first time scenarios, and I've been here, you know what I'm saying? So shout out my wife. She's been holding us down. Like, you feel me? And just big shout out to God, because in this season we have not lacked. Like, real talk, like we have not lacked, and it's just because he's providing and he's been working things out, you know. And I'm going back to school, so I kind of made up my mind that I'm gonna go back to school, and I want to big shout out to my sister-in-law, shout out to Erica, you feel me, because I told her I was gonna make her famous for this quote, because it was so real what she said, knowing that she just graduated with her master's. You feel what I'm saying? Big ups to her. Let me see if I know which one it is. Which one? Nope, it's not that one. Let me find it. Oh, no. Hold on.
You gotta switch it.
Yeah, I got to switch it. Nope. 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 It's this one. It's this one. Hold on. I'm just learning this. I'm just learning this. But big shout outs to Erica, you know. She graduated with her master's. You feel what I'm saying? Knowing all the circumstances she's going through, and she stuck it out. And what she told me when I told her, like, I think I'm going to go back to school, she was like, look, Harvey, you might as well do it because the time is going to pass anyways. And it's crazy because she was like, you know, it's a lot of people. I told a lot of people I'm going back to school. I'm going to go get my master's. And I did it, right? And she's like, some of those people are like, well, I think I should start now. And that will forever stick with me because no matter what we want to do, what we plan on doing, whatever we desire to do, if you don't start now, the time is going to pass anyways. And determining on how long it's going to take for that thing to get done, you could have either already got it out the way or be almost finished versus you just starting. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm going to go back to school. And big shout out to my bro Quan. We had a conversation, you know, just a couple days ago. And I'm like, bro, I'm hurting. Like financially, I'm broke. Like I'm not used to this. You feel what I'm saying? And one thing he told me, right, and this is forever stick with me too in this season, he said, the biggest thing that you have or the most leverage or the thing that you have in this season is time. He's like, he has a job, right? A good paying job, but he don't got the time. And certain things that we plan on doing, it's like time is important. And this will probably be the only season in my life where I have this much time to get ahead. And it's crazy because the season before, right, when I didn't have a job, I wasn't worrying about the time. I was like, I need to get some bread. My kids, she need basketball shoes. I'm like, so much stuff going on. And I'm like, I'm the man, right? I'm looking at what the world says or what I'm looking at what the outside, the standard is, right? And I'm like, I'm not meeting that. You feel what I'm saying? And it just had me messed up to where I could not see anything going the way it was supposed to or see the good in the situation. But on this second go round, I'm like, I have time. So I just want to use my time wisely, whether it's providing content, doing the podcast, whether it's researching, whether it's doing whatever, spending time with my family, with myself, with God, whatever it is, I'm taking this time serious and I'm trying to stay locked in because we don't know when we going to have time like this again. And time waits for no man. You feel me? It could be here today and gone tomorrow. So this journey's been cool, you know, and I could definitely say I've overcome a lot of things and got to know myself more, got to see a lot better, clear when it comes to my plan versus God plan, and then gain more understanding of what my plan actually was, you know? So I'm super grateful in this process and I wouldn't change it. You feel me? Like a lot of times we'd be like, man, I wish this wouldn't have happened or avoided it. And it's like, yeah, that's cool. But when you look at the struggle or the challenge and see what you gained from it versus what you would have not gained if you didn't go through it, it's like, I'm not egging it on, like bring it on. But I'm like, if it does happen, let's go. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm just grateful for making it through this process. I'm glad that God is good. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying?
I even feel like that too. Like even with my injury and the whole process and story and all that stuff that I went through, I wouldn't change it because I feel like it's made me a better person and a better player in sense. Because I feel like if I would have, not got injured or certain things, like I feel like I wouldn't be as mentally strong as I am now, like when it comes to certain games. Because I feel like as a freshman, when you lose a game, you get upset. And it's like me now sitting the sidelines, it's just like, I just want to play. Right. Forget, like, of course you want to win, but I just want to play. I just want to have fun. I just want to, live, in the moment of having that playtime or having that joy. So I feel like with time, I feel like as me being injured, I was so focused on like, bro, I don't know if I'm going to have time. all this other stuff. But I feel like if I really was to slow down in that moment of my life, I probably would have, um, accepted and went through a lot of stuff differently. But things happen for a reason. I was just like, so let's go, instead of really taking the time to be like, now I got time to spend time with my family, or with God, because just to bring it back, like I prayed and I was like, Lord, like I don't have time to spend with you. I don't have time to read my Bible. I'm always at practice, I'm always doing other stuff. But now God was like, you have all this time. You got all this time to spend with your family, with me, reading your word. So I just feel like everything was meant for a reason. Just me being stronger mentally now, and gonna be physically stronger, because I'm not taking no breaks. But being mentally stronger now, I wouldn't change a thing. Like, I'm just blessed, just like truly blessed that it happened to me. Like, it happened to me, Harley Washington, instead of someone else. Because I feel like, honestly, now I'm like, I'm strong enough to take on anything, but I wouldn't want it to happen. But if it did happen again in the future or anything worse, I feel like I would be good. I'll be good.
Yeah, man. For real. It's all in the process. It's all in the process. But yeah, I think that wraps it up for us, on our first podcast episode. It's probably gonna be the first one because I kind of have some already. But this is the official, I like the little co-host thing.
Me too.
You a cool co-host, we get to experience it and learn, but but I do want to, just encourage y'all, man. Encourage you first, just keep God in it all. You feel me? And keep the right people around you. And it's always light at the end of the tunnel. Don't.
You're not alone.
Yeah. And don't ever feel like you can't. You were made to. Feel what I'm saying? Like, don't feel like you can't, because you were made to. You were made to overcome. You were made to do great things. You were made to be great. It's just, it's not in you. You weren't designed to not. You feel what I'm saying? So I just want to keep you encouraged and inspire you and keep you locked in, man. So
like, being great is a choice. Like, it's not just given to you at birth. Like, being great is a choice that you make in your life. Like, I'm going to be great. Nobody's just going to, there's certain, like, I feel like going back, I was, at open gym and, a girl, Ezzy, shout out to Ezzy, but she was just saying, like, when it comes to that, like, when it comes to greatness, there was so many people that told her, like, hey, you're going to be great. You're going to be this great basketball player. But because she didn't put in that real work, she feels like now, like, dang, how am I going to be great? Like, everybody around me was telling me I was going to be great, but I don't see the process. I don't see anything adding up. And it was because of that hard work. Like, you have to make a mental, inner decision to yourself that you're going to be great. You can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna be great. Everybody around me telling me I'm great. No, you have to make that decision. I'm going to be great. I'm going to be the best one on the court. I'm going to be, put that work in, because all that work is going to add up at the end of the day. All that's talking is not going to add up to that, real deal situation. But yeah, just putting that work in and making that decision for yourself.
Man, faith without works is dead. You feel me? But that's one for the books. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, you already know it's your boy Harv.
And Harley.
And you already know the slogan, man. You've been inspired. Now do something about it.
Do something about it.
Peace.